Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going over Beautiful Feet's early American history. I'm going to do a full review on it, so grab a cup of coffee and let's get started. Alright you guys, if you have been following my channel for a while, you've probably heard me talk about our history program that we started with at the beginning of the year, and not like to bash it or anything, but it was not a good program for us. The very first lesson, I lost my 5-year-old in it. She wanted no part of it. She's also kind of flighty because she's 5, but my son also did not want to do it. And as we progressed, because I made him stick it out for 3 weeks, I was like, hey, like this is still new to us. Maybe as we go through it, you'll like it, I'll like it. We'll all just kind of bask in the glory of this curriculum. And that was not the case. So at the 3-week mark, we called it quits because my son was really like starting to take a turn against history, and I didn't want that. So I was on the hunt for a brand new curriculum. And you guys, by the grace of God, I found this one, and I love it so much. It has been such a blessing. I'm actually looking down at my list just so I don't forget anything, but I'm also pulling up on their website just so you guys know everything that Beautiful Feet Early American History comes with. So this review is actually going to be on their primary reading pack, which is kindergarten through 3rd grade. It comes with the teacher guide. It comes with a blank notebook and 23 books, and they're all picture books because this is a reading through or a learning through literature program. It also gives you 94 lessons within the teacher guide, and they break it up. So they tell you that if you want to make it a 1-year study, then you need to do 2 to 3 lessons per week. And if you want to stretch it out to a little longer and make it a 2-year study, then you do 1 to 2 lessons per week. I absolutely love that because we do block scheduling. So we do history 2 days a week. And if I can fit in, 2 lessons, which we usually can, then I can make this a 2-year study. But if we can fit in a little extra, then it might be a 1-year study or maybe a 1.5-year study. So I really like that there's not that stress to just kind of compile everything into 1 year with their very strict 36 lessons, and you don't have time to explore rabbit trails or, just really dive deep into the curriculum itself and maybe read these books a few times if that's what your child is wanting to do. One of the things that I also really like about this is, like I said, it's a study through literature program. There's no worksheets involved. I love a good worksheet. I love copy work. I like making sure that my children are really working on their penmanship, but sometimes, you guys, like the worksheets can get a bit much, especially when every single subject is requiring them. And I feel like with history and science, you either love it or you hate it. So I feel like by taking a gentle approach where you're just reading books and you're having fun and you're discussing and you're engaging and you're thinking about the content you just read, I feel like that makes these subjects easier to come to and enjoy and like, rather than, oh, I did 5 pages of worksheets and now I don't like it, or I had to answer 18 questions and now like I don't want anything to do with this. So it's very gentle in the fact that there's no worksheets. Maybe you'll like that, maybe you won't. Hey guys, it's Editing Shauna here. I got so excited about there being no worksheets that I totally forgot to mention what they do have in the book. So in the teacher's guide, there are parts of the book that do encourage you to do reports on certain people or certain events, and it also has some prompts to do a field trip. So keep that in mind when you're choosing this curriculum, and these are very like vague things. Like it'll just say like do a report on the Native Americans, like pick one of the peoples that you want to do a report on and do a report on it. There's no detailed instructions, there's no guide. So it can really be anything that you want it to be. You can really let your child's creativity be let loose in this area, or you can do, you know, as little as you want. It really just depends. You can really make it your own, and that's my little snippet. I would encourage you that if you get this curriculum and you are not currently planning out each week, that you go ahead and you look through it just to prior to the week starting, just so you know what's going to possibly be expected of you. And you know, just so you're not reading the lesson and then you're like, oh, we have to do a report, or oh, we have to do a field trip. So that way you're engaged and you know what you need to do. So then, you know, you can already have it prepared. I hope that this little addition is helpful. I'll let you get back to the review now. Another thing that I really like is that within the lessons, Beautiful Feet Books has also included video recommendations. So they will list a specific YouTube channel and video to watch from that channel just to solidify your knowledge on that topic. And I really like that because my kids really like videos, and they like when they get to watch certain videos that are, you know, incorporated into our homeschool. So I really like that. It's nothing that I have to search for. It's nothing that's found at the very back of the book and you have to try to remember every week to look and see if something is paired with that lesson or not. It's literally like within that week's lesson. And so I really love that they planned that out in the way that they did. They also offer you book recommendations. So if your child is really interested in the lesson that you're studying, so say the first one, it's a lesson on Vikings. If your child gets really intrigued about Vikings and wants to learn more, then they have different parts of their book that offer rabbit trails. And so they offer book recommendations, and they also offer online resources. And I love that the resources that they offer, like at least in regards to videos, are free. It's nothing that I have to go to their site and purchase additionally. It's on YouTube. It's free. The next thing that I really, really love is that for this pack, it's all picture books. My son is 8 and he reads chapter books. He's, you know, a very like engaged reader, but he also really loves picture books. And I love that because they include picture books, it also keeps my 5-year-old engaged. It's nothing that causes her to be flighty. She loves reading. So when we can just sit down and just read a book and it doesn't feel like forced learning, that's like the stuff that homeschool is made of, you guys. So this is just, you know, one of the Viking books that they offer. One of the things that I also really like about this program is that because it doesn't include any worksheets, you can use it with multiple children, and you can use it with multiple children down the road as well. So if you're like me and you have a large family and multiple children, then this curriculum can serve you for years to come without you having to worry about buying additional books because your children wrote in it and now you didn't think to make copies, or you know, things like that. Sometimes homeschooling can get expensive, so it's nice when a curriculum does, you know, something like this where you can use it with multiple children down the road. The next thing that we have really enjoyed is once you finish up a lesson, they have something called the historic table, and they offer recipes based on the people that you just learned and what is or was popular with their culture. We actually made this cake and it was so good. All right, last but not least, the price. So initially the price is $250 at the time of filming this video. It's really like $249 and some change, but we're just gonna round up. Which includes the teacher guide, the 23 books, and the notebook that I showed you guys. Now, yes, that can be a very hefty price for some families, which is why I also really love the fact that Beautiful Feet Books has multiple purchasing options. So if you want to just like pay them and then they just send you everything that you need and you don't have to have another thought in your mind about what you need to get from the store or the library or online or anywhere else, then you can just pay for the entire kit to be sent to you, which is really, really nice. But I also love the fact that you can purchase everything a la carte. So say you have some of these books in your library and you're like, I really don't want to purchase the whole thing and then have multiple books floating around. You can purchase the teacher guide, which I think is between $25 to $35. I don't remember the exact amount of just the teacher guide. And then you can either, pick and choose some of the books directly from their site that you want to get, or you can purchase them elsewhere. You can get them from the library. You can borrow them from a friend. There's tons of different ways to make this curriculum work for your family and make it also affordable for your family. All right, so on to my cons list. And this isn't even like my cons because I've completely fallen in love with this program, you guys. Like, when I say my son was like completely turning against history after our first history program this year, I'm not kidding. And after doing Beautiful Feet's Early American History program, my son loves history. He gets, like, every day we go to do homeschool, he asks, is it a history day? And when I tell him no, he's like, oh man, like, he gets really like sad. And so I love that this curriculum has ignited that passion within him. So with that said though, I was trying to think, like, if somebody didn't, like, what would you guys maybe not like about this program? So the only things I was able to come up with, and maybe there's more, maybe I've got my love goggles on, but the only thing I can think of is that maybe some of you might not like the fact that there's no worksheets. I know that some children really do thrive with, copy work and writing things down and searching for the questions. I know that everybody has different learning styles. Maybe you'd have to check on their website because I'm not sure if maybe the older grades end up getting worksheets at some point. But that's it. And if you're a secular family, it does have pockets of scripture within this program. I personally like that just because we try to incorporate scripture into every subject, but I know that not every family likes that, and not every family, is, a Christ-following family. So if you are more secular in that terms, or in those terms, then you might not like the pockets of scripture. I will say it's not within every single day's lesson, but it is in there. So maybe you can pass through those portions, or maybe that would turn you off from the program altogether. But those are the only two cons that I can really think of. I really love everything about this curriculum. I think it's a beautiful curriculum. They have wonderful customer service, and I really you guys, I'm really picky, but I really have nothing bad to say about this program. We are also not completely through the book just because we are kind of taking it a little slower. So, maybe once we end it, but the fact that I can teach my 5 and 8-year-old the same subject at the same time and everybody stays engaged is just, it's beautiful. I love it. If there was a curriculum I could marry besides Masterbooks, it would be this one. So check it out. Let me know down below in the comments. Have you used Beautiful Feet books? Have you used any of their curriculums? Are you looking at using them? Did you find this review helpful? I would love to hear your thoughts. I will turn the camera around and just do a quick flip through for the first lesson, so you guys can kind of get an idea of what they offer and kind of see all of the books that are included. If you found this video helpful, please give me a big thumbs up, hit that red subscribe button, and I will see you again later. Bye!